Well, Derek, thank you so much for taking time out of your day, man. You're 4-0. You're the current Conquest of the Cage heavyweight champion. I appreciate taking time, man.
Definitely. Thank you for having me, man. It's awesome to be on.
Absolutely. Now, I was looking at some of your videos earlier this year. You had a boxing match that lasted about 5 seconds. Of course, you won via knockout there. But are you wanting to do both boxing and MMA, or do you prefer to do one over the other?
That was actually my first fight. So I just been training for about 2 weeks, I think, and then Isaac, it just kind of shook out. They had a card that they needed a spot to be filled, and I was doing pretty good in the gym, and I had talked to Isaac, and Isaac's my head coach, and he was saying that it'd be kind of a good way to get your feet wet, like a good way to go in and just really worry about my striking is obviously a little bit better than my ground game. And so he thought it'd be a good way to go in and just kind of get the nerves, and like see how things go. And, it went really well.
That's awesome,
so, man. I wouldn't shy away from another boxing fight, just because I tend to just throw my hands anyway. And I kind of like the feel of a bigger ring better, but like at the same time, I like the closed octagon, where you can just chase them down. And
so, being an amateur fighter, do you have a goal date in mind to go pro, or is that something that you want to do?
Honestly, so when it comes to like going pro and like really with all my fights, I just kind of let Isaac handle it. I think he'll know when I'm ready. And we got some pros at the gym that I spar with all the time, and stuff like that. And like, I do pretty well too with them. But I think just whenever Isaac's ready for us to make that jump, I'll be ready, Yeah. I try not to dwell too much on like the opponent, just like to keep set on dates and like, what I can control,
Right. Yeah. How did you get started in MMA, and what made you decide that you wanted to get in the cage and start throwing hands?
So I did football in high school, and like I wrestled all the way up until my freshman year, and then I just kind of missed the contact. I was getting out of shape a little bit, and like just kind of bored. I was started kind of getting into bar fights a little too much.
Okay.
And then not a whole lot, but I think anytime's kind of a bad time.
Sure.
And so I figured, I'd just look around Moses Lake and see if I could, find any type of like contact sport, and like. I was going to get back into football, but you got to have insurance to play that. And then was calling around, and like the first thing I would ask them when I like would call like a Taekwondo dojo or like whatever, I'd be like, what kind of level of contact are you guys doing? And most of them would be like, well, I'd say like 10 to 15, and like I called up, or actually I didn't even know Isaac's name. I just hit him up on his Sacred Scars Facebook page,
Okay.
And he was like, he's like, yeah, man. He's like, we're a tryout based gym, you got to come down and we'll give you a shot, And he's like, but, and I was like, that just, makes me want to go even more,
Sure.
And went down and, first time I rolled, I was just going to go down and check it out because I was wearing jeans, and Jared Torgerson actually met me at the door, and he's like, you want to roll today? And I was like, yeah, man, let's do it, And ever since, I've been hooked. Yeah, but just kind of fell in love with it from there,
Yeah, I like that concept, man. It's kind of a trial basis for Isaac, and Isaac and Larry, both those guys are really, really good dudes, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, so when can us fans expect to see you back in the cage?
Well, I'm looking to defend the belt against Jared Fisher. I think that's the way it's looking like it's going to shape out. And if we're both ranked number 5 right now on Tapology.
Okay.
And so I'd like to kind of get that hashed out,
Sure. I had Jared on my show earlier this year, and I've seen him in person. He's a big dude. You're a big dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a clash of the Titans, man. Yeah. That'll be a great fight, dude.
No, for sure. And it's nice, too. I think Jared he'll bring that action, He looks like a big dude. And I watched his last fight against Paco Mora.
Yeah.
And, I saw some things that were impressive, and I also saw some things that we think that we can capitalize on and,
sure,
kind of keep rolling with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just before walking out to the cage or the ring, how are you feeling, man? Do you ever get nervous, or you have fear come over you at all, or what's going through your head there?
So I kind of feel it reverse from most people. Most people are kind of super confident like 3 days out, and they kind of get a little bit more nervous as the fight day comes, most of my fights are on Fridays. So like
Okay.
Wednesday, I'm really feeling it. You know, Thursday, I'm like kind of nervous, you know, but just like ready to go. And then Friday, as I'm getting closer to the arena, like I literally just stand cage side and watch all the fights up until my fight. You know, and just I just love it. You know, I love that feeling. I love that adrenaline. I like it. I think my fight starts right when I come out the gate. You know, I come out and as I'm doing my walkout, you know, I don't take my eyes off of them until, you know, that ref pulls me off, you know.
Right.
And so I just get just more fired up and more fired up. And, you know, it just kind of reminds me of like football, you know, because like football, It's like every play you're going to hit somebody and you're going to get hit, you know. And so I'm just, you know, I'm ready to get hit.
Yeah. Come on, man. Now, I mean, obviously fighting is such a mental game as it is a physical game. What are you doing mentally to prepare for fights, man?
Like, I work out a lot in like the wilderness and stuff like that, you know. And so like, I just kind of go chill out, go to like one of the, you know, I live out in Ephrata. We got a lot of, you know, recreational spots around town and stuff. And I just go out and chill, you know, and I don't feel like there's too much mentally that I have to do to get ready for a fight. You know, I'm kind of prepared for the war, you know, so to speak. Yeah. And, you know, if it goes a little bit faster, then that's just extra, you know. But I just like to, you know, kind of just relax the day before and go out and just try and be violent and as intense as I can, you know.
Well, you've definitely shown that in the cage, being 4-0. I think you have 4 finishes, right?
Yep, all first round, yeah.
Come on, man. That is awesome, dude. I'm excited to see what's next, and hopefully you do get that fight with Jared. It's going to be a great fight between you guys. Going to be pretty awesome, man. Wanted to transition just to a couple fun questions here. We have Masvidal versus Diaz. Who wins that fight, man?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I personally, I like Masvidal. You know, I like how, you know, and I like Diaz too. You almost can like them both for the same reasons. You know, they're guys who just have like stuck around the fight game. You know, almost doesn't really matter if they win or lose. You know, they never really drop in stock. They've been fighting the top 10 guys for the majority of their careers, you know. Yeah. And so but I honestly, I'd have to give it to Masvidal just because I think Diaz is tough, but I think Masvidal will be able to like put the pace on him and keep that pace going. Like I don't think he'll kind of taper off as easy as Conor McGregor did. Yeah. And so I'd like to see Masvidal win that fight, but you know, either way, I think it's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Now, you talked a lot about going out into nature. You post a lot of pictures of hiking and being outdoors. Where's your favorite hiking spot?
Probably the Big Bend Wildlife area it's like by Leahy Junction. It's between Soap Lake and Omak. I like it out there because there's not a whole lot of people out there all the time, you know, and it's still pretty like got a bunch of natural grasses and stuff like that. And it's huge, you know. You can just like go out and hike all day and get lost out there.
Sweet, man. Last question for you. What's your favorite type of music, or do you have a favorite band that you listen to?
I listen to just about everything, you know, like my mom, she listened to a lot of classic rock, so I grew up on that. But yeah, I listen to everything, you know, a little bit of dubstep, a little bit of rap, mostly like country rock and like some, I guess, like kind of hippie stuff, you know.
Sure. Yeah. Nice, man. Well, wanted to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to coaches, teammates, sponsors, anybody like that. The camera is all yours, brother.
Yeah, definitely. So, number one, obviously, I'd like to give shout out to Sacred Scars, my coaches, you know, Larry, Isaac Jones, Jimmy Molina, you know, Jared Torgerson, Michael Northrup. They're always there, you know, giving me good work and helping me like improve my game and stuff like that. My dad, my mom, my girlfriend, my friends, James Taylor. And then actually I have a list of sponsors if I could just look at that real quick.
Totally, dude. Yeah, absolutely, man.
G&D Lock and Key, Cassiotti Orthodontistry, the Advanced Learning Institute.
Derek, it is an honor to be able to talk to you today, man. I'm looking forward to you throwing hands again. You're a badass, and thank you for taking time and jumping on the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for bringing me on. It was fun.
Hey guys, thank you so much for hanging around. Really appreciate it. If you'd like to see more videos from Top Rated MMA and the Bearded Biz Show, please click the playlist and also hit subscribe to our channel. Become part of the Top Rated MMA and Bearded Biz community. We would really appreciate your support. Also, please leave a comment below. I will read and respond to all of them. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.